So the main agenda, it includes an overview of the pilot use case, the assessment process that was done here, a look into the SBS product development cycle, then the main challenges considered while looking into improving our digital twin, the solutions identified, and then further the pilot schedule, the execution steps, and the technologies used are discussed. Please let me know if you have any questions in between. All right. The prosthesis adapter, it is actually used to connect the artificial foot to the knee hinge for para-athletes. And we are doing this project also in collaboration with the Berlin Paralympic team. And the main aim of the project was to develop a very lighter and efficient model for the adapter using additive manufacturing. For production process, the analysis models are considered as virtual twins or digital twins, and this is what we consider as digital twin in the framework of this particular project. Through this project, the main other aims also included improving the development process, the whole development process of the adapter, to have a better tracking of the changes with respect to requirements, design, and to implement them properly and timely within the virtual twin. Okay, here we did assessment of the digitalization at SBS, and it was done in fall of 2020 by TNO using their Combus tool. And you have a look into the final results from the Combus tool here. So based on the assessment, it's identified that currently we are at level 2 of digitalization, and we are aiming at level 4 further down the lane. And now considering the main KPIs of our projects, we have 3 main themes identified as to be implemented, like digital implementations to be done. The first is a QRM or MDE management system. So that aims in identifying the critical engineering path and digitalization of it, which is one of the main goals of the Change2Twin project, which is one of the main aims that we are looking for to implement as in the framework of Change2Twin. The implementation on model conversion methods and access to faster computing platforms, etc., are the main steps to be taken for this. The next is a ERP or a CRM technology that will be implemented in-house using a business coordination softwares. And the last identified technology is to implement a digital twin or to improve the digital twin. So this is considered by implementing the product manufacturing information within the digital design stage and to improve the digital twin by having test data incorporated into the analysis models, and hence to have like a full loop of the improvement in the whole functions or how the actual product works with respect to the analysis model. So for Change2Twin, the main product considered is the prosthesis adapter that you can see here. But prosthesis adapter undergoes only mechanical testing. So in order to have a more wider involvement, also to include mechanical and thermal test data, we also consider the sandwich panel, which was also part of a EU project. And this would also be included towards the last phase of the project, where we try to map the test data to the twin analysis models. Now, moving on to the overview of the product development process at SBS. So it starts at looking into the requirements phase, where we look into the requirement documents and consider the main product requirements in terms of dimensions, loads, allowable requirements, etc. And based on this, an initial design is developed. And then from the design and analysis model, or a digital twin model, is generated. And here it goes into a loop where we try to find an best optimized product phase with a better design with all good performance. And this is mostly the virtual twin development, the first stage of the twin development. And when we have an optimized design, we go into production. And then after the production is done, mechanical testing is done in-house at the testing facility as SPS. And here we try to map the test data to the digital twin as a part of the Change2Twin project. So this slide, it shows the main challenges considered that is to be looked into within the framework of Change2Twin project. The product turnaround time is one of the main KPIs, and the main challenges that consider the product turnaround includes the computing time computing time for the analysis models and the twins. Then it also includes the effective conversion of the models across different formats, which is given by this data interoperability. Considered including the manufacturing information within the design phase so that we have less time when it comes to a design requirement changes. In addition to this, we also look into the enrichment of the digital twin with test data, improving the data storage and archiving, having a faster data exchange, and to have all the models within a common data exchange format. So these are the main challenges also with respect to which product development phase it is involved in. Now, the next step was to identify the solution providers to tackle these challenges. So this slide gives the main solution providers identified within the Change2Twin framework. So first is the JOTNE. So the PLM system is provided by JOTNE, which includes data, and they also handles data exchange, storage, and archiving. And they also provide a multidisciplinary data management system called SINTEF that helps in the test data correlation with the analysis models to have the data test data and correlate it with the digital twin models. Then we have the Cloudbroker, who provides as a high-performance cloud system for analysis. And furthermore, we have the enrichment of the digital twin. In addition to the SINTEF, we have Photogrammetry, which is provided by the TNO. And the last, we have Additive Industries, who we work with to include product manufacturing information to the at the first phase, like within the design phase itself, then to check the final design for manufacturing, to define the build orientation for additive manufacturing, and they will also be handling the production and the post-production activities. Okay, these slides give us just a small overview of all the different KPIs and related to the main solutions which we identified for SPS Prothesis Adapter. So if you can have a look, we have a lot of KPIs related to the time of data exchange with respect to the iterations required, analysis, and most of the KPIs, it lean towards reducing the overall lead time for design to manufacturing and to have faster response to a change in requirement or design phase. Okay, these slides give a rough overview into the pilot schedule. The pilot started in June of 2020, and it was scheduled to run for like 18 months, so it mostly run until November of this year. And currently we are done with the optimization of the design and the design loop, and we are preparing the models for manufacturing. So we are doing the manufacturing checks and doing the final orientation checks and everything. And we are hoping to have the first results from the twin by somewhere around July and August. And here the results mean we are trying to introduce the test data from the product, like the product developed, and into the analysis model so that we will have like a loop. So as of now, the project is supposed to be, we will have the first results by August. Okay, here it's just like a concise look into the main steps that went into the twin building or the product manufacturing. So it starts with the review of the objectives, the main requirements, and if we have to do any update in the design requirements, identify all the softwares that is required, infrastructure required, and everything goes into the step 1. And the step 2 is to initialize all the requirements, basically deploy the softwares, deploy the cloud computing requirements, ensure all the parameters or requirements is done. And then we go into the step 3, which is the main step in the product development, which includes the design and analysis of it. So for SPS prosthesis adapter, this is the second iteration of it. We had a first iteration of the adapter, and we wanted to improve the design further and for further more load cases. And so we started with the already available design, and we ran an optimization loop for the design, which includes design optimization and analysis, and then further checking of the models. So that was the main task during the step 3, and which is where we are right now. We are at the end of step 3. And the next step would be to actually manufacture the prosthesis using 3D metal printing, 3D metal powder printing technology, and that we do with Additive Industries. And the next step, the 5th step, will be the enrichment of the test data with photogrammetry and then with SIMTM. And this is where the digital twin application comes into mainly. So where we try to implement or try to map the test data to the analysis model made at step 3, thus causing making a complete loop of the digital twin. And along the whole process, we will also have the PLM implementation and going on, and it runs through the whole project with updates and adding more data at every stage. So this is like just a look into what we have done as of now. So we are at the end of, as I said, the 3rd step, where we are done with the modeling, and we have the twin, first part of the twin already available. And here is if you can look here, you can find the results, like the stress analysis results and displacement results that we have as of now. And furthermore, when we are done with the testing, we are hoping to map the test data to these 2 models, the analysis results, and then to see how much difference it is, and then improve the test data and improve the analysis model with respect to the test data, so that we will have a better understanding of how it works, and thus causing making a complete digital twin. So here we use the optimization. We usually use Altair softwares, Altair Inspire for optimization. And the design is also done with Inspire, but the analysis was done in OptiStruct. Okay, here I'm gonna go quickly through some of the enabling technologies that we use to implement the digital twin for the prosthesis thing. The first one is the PLM software, which is the True PLM provided by JOTNE. So this software is mainly based on ISO standard with the proper product lifecycle management system into it. And here you can see just a look into what is being done as of now. So we have the whole project structure within the PLM system, and all the different steps are included into it. The files are added, and we also get an update when a requirement is changed, when you kind of connect the requirement document with respect to the design files and to the analysis files. So even when you have a change in one of the documents, it is flagged further down to all the dependent documents. So it makes it very easy to track changes across the whole product building cycle, from requirements to design to analysis models. So this helps to reduce the time with respect to change any requirements. And then we have the cloud computing platform, which is provided by the Cloudbroker. So here it's like a small screenshot of the platform that we have been using, like the homepage and the main jobs that we try to do. And it includes what is the executable file, and what is the software used, and what is the memory used for it. And one thing is the True PLM have access through TruePLM is also implemented within the cloud platform. So the TruePLM, which we use for PLM software, is also included into the cloud in addition to the faster computing access that we have through it. Then here it's like a okay, here we do the design for manufacturing. So basically, we consider the product manufacturing requirements and constraints during the design stage itself. It's mainly required because when you consider additive manufacturing, different manufacturing like printers have different requirements or constraints with respect to thickness, with respect to the build orientation, the minimum thickness requirement, the porosity, etc. So we try to include this information even during the initial design time, so that it is easier to have the whole design done and it doesn't go into a iterative loop. So we don't lose time iterating later at the stage. And with the help from additive industries, we also get to figure out what is the best build direction and to avoid some particular geometry which may not be very desirable when it comes to additive manufacturing. So this is done with the help of additive industries. And then the next step is the simulation data management, and we are done with help of JOTNE, which is their SimDM software. This is yet to be implemented for the SPS project, but it will be done later in June, most probably. So the main thing of the software is we have the analysis models in SimDM, and we can use the test data. We can extract or map the test data from an Excel sheet or whatever data available into the analysis models. And it helps us to see what is the variation or how different is the actual test data with respect to the analysis results. So this helps to have like a feedback from the product into the twin. So this we will be implementing next month. And then the next technology we use with the collaboration from additive industry is the actual production process. So we will be using their Metal Fab 1 printer and making the prosthesis adapter. And we also collaborate with the additive industries to do the post-production heat treatment and processing of the component, drilling holes, surface treatment, etc. And then finally, we have the photogrammetry, which is also related to the test data enrichment with the analysis models. So what we do here is we are doing this with collaboration of TNO, where we use an optical fringe projection scanner to take pictures and then develop 3D images of the whole prosthesis. So here we try to do the prosthesis with stressed model and without stressed model. And this is from like a feasibility study we did to ensure that we can actually implement this technology within the Change2Twin, and we have enough information from the equipment available at TNO. So the feasibility study was a success, and we are still in talks regarding how we can implement it when we are actually done with the production of the prosthesis. So this is from an older prosthesis available at SPS, and we tried to do some studies regarding stressed model and non-stressed model and to align them over each other and to see how here you can see what is the variation where you have no loads and with loads. So this is also like a backup regarding correlation of the test data into the analysis models. So these are the main technologies used to improve improve the digital twin for the prosthesis. Okay, and here it's just like an outlook of the current status with respect to the main steps, which I already explained. So we are done with the step 1 and 2. And step 3 is almost done. It's ongoing and final checks are ongoing. And then we will be going into manufacturing early June. So this is the main outlook into the SPS pilot project.